how many snails would have to be on an airplane before it makes the news? Like, what do you think? I think like at least 20.
I feel like legally, I probably shouldn't be answering that question.
Why not?
What are you planning?
Why not? Okay, but like, imagine you're like a dad on a flight to Disney World, right? You're a dad with like 2 kids and his wife on a flight to Disney World, and you're like, you pull down your meal tray, and there's just a fucking like garden snail there. Like there's like just one. Like that's not making the news, right? Like it's just at most it's like, okay, that's kind of inconvenient. I guess I'm dealing with this for the rest of the flight. But imagine the same situation. There's like 30, right? There's like 30 of them. Like that's definitely making the news. Like that's someone is hearing about that. Someone is hearing about that.
I feel like 30 snails would probably hit some news outlet, but it would probably be like an obnoxious tabloid. For like major headlines.
Really?
Major headlines, like thousands.
Thousands. That's definitely a lot more than I was thinking. I was thinking like at minimum, like double digits, like maybe 15. Because I see where you're coming from, like a tabloid. Like it would for sure be an article for like a slow news day. Like I don't know. There's like fucking wars going on and shit. But like that's still like a very unusual situation. Like there's fucking garden snails on a commuter airplane. Like how the fuck did this happen? You know? I
think the species of snail is very important.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because what if it's like those giant snails from like Africa?
Oh, that would definitely be a tabloid. Like imagine if someone brings one on as like an emotional support animal. That probably has happened. I could definitely see that happening. I was picturing
just,
more.
Like one fucker just brings like a suitcase full of snails.
Yeah, I was for the situation I'm imagining. I'm imagining more like a garden snail the size of like the tip of your thumb or something. Like how many of those would have to be on the plane to make the news? Like definitely a big ass snail, like
digits.
Yeah, definitely double digits. Because you're
like we also have to think there's no guarantee that just because it happens it'll end up on the news. Like someone has to hear about it.
Someone would. In what situation would they not hear about it? Because I would definitely be surprised if like there were 30 snails and like the guys sitting next to him don't also make a big stink about it. Because how do 30 snails like get on a plane? That's just kind of ridiculous.
I assume someone would just be transporting snails and then they get loose.
I don't know, like any amount of snails brought on that way would be like smuggling. I'm not entirely sure how the laws work, but bringing like some kind of species on snail on a plane.
How regulated are snails? Do we know how regulated snails are?
I have no idea. I know some idiots have like eaten them and then died to like parasites inside them. I don't know like what snails do, like how dangerous they are for the ecosystem.
I think that's just a case of poor hygiene.
Okay, so I feel like we're kind of getting off track. Let's simplify things. For the purpose of this conversation, let's say it's just like garden snails. No one brought them on smuggling them. Someone just like found them on a commuter airline. How many would there have to be for it to make the news? I think like at least 20. I don't know, it's weird. That's why it's making the news, because how does that happen? You're exactly right.
Like maybe someone brings like some of their, like a portable garden and their plants have like snails on them, maybe. Like someone really wants to garden, they bring the garden with them on the plane and it has snails. It's possible.
Yeah, that could happen. I don't know. I feel like definitely at least double digits. Because imagine you see this tabloid online, right? Like oh, some asshole found 5 snails on a plate. Like, okay, who cares? I'm not clicking on that. Like, some asshole found 20 snails on a plate. And like, oh, okay, now I'm interested. Know what I mean?
Sorry, could you say all of that again? I wasn't paying attention.
No,
also,
fuck you.
I just got here.
But
we're talking about snails.
I feel like
about snails.
I feel like it would definitely be double digits. Like definitely nothing below double digits. If it's a garden snail, because okay, let me throw some numbers at you. So, do you agree with me that 30 snails on a plane, that would make the news? That would make the news.
I think 50. I think 50.
50? Okay, so like no matter what, if there's no matter what, if there's 50 snails on the plane, it's making the news, right?
Yeah.
Making them loose?
So what's like the bottom? What's the floor for that? What's the bottom cutoff for it making the news? Even if it's just like a stupid tabloid somewhere. But like at what?
Well, there's
at
a
what
lot
point?
of stupid tabloids, a lot of special wares, so I don't know.
I think
probably like
50, or maybe like 25, maybe is like the lowest end.
I personally brought in 49 snails. They didn't check my bag properly.
But if you hit 50,
See,
they would
here's
have
the snail smuggler I was talking
It didn't
about
break
earlier.
the news though.
You should actually do that and see what happens. But you know what? Let's run an
What do you mean
experiment.
you should actually do that? I did actually do that.
No, you didn't. I don't believe you.
What are you talking about? Are you talking?
Okay, you're trolling. You're trolling. You're trolling. You're not even taking this seriously. You're trolling. You're not taking this.
I'm taking
we're
this
trying to have
100% seriously.
an intellectual conversation,
Guys,
and you're out here saying that like, oh, I brought 25 snails on a plane.
And you think I'm not?
You know
and
why
you think
I
I'm
know?
not.
You know
That's
why
insulting.
I know that you're lying? Because it didn't make the news. We've already established that something like that would make the news. Oh my god.
I said 49. I didn't say 50, did I?
Yes, so you didn't try 50. What was the big?
I didn't try 50. 50 would be the minimum to make the news. I have evidence backing this up. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally engaging in your intellectual conversation.
Go to 50.
Okay.
Because one of them got squished. Okay, I'm sorry.
You should have had a backup. You should have.
No, you're trolling. You're trolling. You're not even trying. You're not even trying to hide it. You're not even taking. You're taking a piss. You're not taking this seriously.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm literally not.
Get this guy out of here. He doesn't care about what we're talking about.
Everyone kick him.
Fucking get this guy out. Like I'm trying. We're doing this for science. We're trying to figure out.
Talking about this.
Like in the very real situation.
What are you talking about?
Of how many snails.
I did that.
You'd have to bring on a plane to make the news. And you're taking the fucking piss. I hate people like this. Oh my god.
It's not like you're gonna get a certificate for 49.
I didn't even laugh. I didn't even laugh. I'm not. I'm engaging in an intellectual conversation, okay? I'm being so for real right now when I say there was 48, well, 49, sorry, 49. There was 49.
Wow, what's the other one?
Don't talk about him, alright?
Well, what's the difference then between 49 and 50? Why does 50 make the news but 49 doesn't?
One is
I guess it's more noticeable. I don't know.
It's a round number. It's an even number. You ever heard of that? Even number.
So is 2. Why doesn't 2 make the news if it's even?
And 50 is a prime number. And 50 is a prime number.
You're talking nonsense.
50 is not a prime number. What?
What's 10 times 5? 50, not prime. Arguments destroyed.
It's a really good number.
I think 7's a better number.
7 is a good number,
but everyone picks 7. So I chose to pick 50.
No, everyone
and then
picks
one
like
of them got
4.
squished. Okay.
Well, 4's okay. 4's okay.
Kevin, I don't need you to tell me what is and is not okay. All right?
I'm sorry.
I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound as harsh as it was, and I apologize.
Kevin, I gotta warn you about this guy. He's known you for 2 seconds. He's already saying I love you. Like, that's a red flag, man. Break it off.
It's been a
I'm not love bombing. I'm just showing appreciation.
No, that's a red flag. You're already instigating random shit into the conversation. Now you're love bombing. Like, Like, I'm sorry, man, but you make it too easy. I don't like where this is going.
I'm sorry. I'm having an intellectual conversation, and I wanted to show appreciation for somebody who. It's a very intimate conversation. All right. And I just all I wanted to do was show appreciation for that. All right.
This is what I get for sharing my passions with people. You know, it's people like this. They come and they ruin everything.
God. Game. Jesus.
What's your answer to it, then?
Were you here for the whole snail discussion?
What's your answer to it, then, big pal? How many snails do you think?
Gardens and like living environments. Yes.
Nobody fucking cares. How many snails on the plane until it makes the news?
I don't know, like.
Then why are you talking? Shut up! That's not what we're talking about.
True. See,
who let the
something that we can agree on.
Who let the parties in?
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to come back around with Coleman because at least he keeps it on topic. Like even if he's taking the pics, he fucking talks about what we're talking about.
Listen,
I'm being so for real when I say that anything under 40, anything under 50, sorry, anything under 50 is not making the news. It's just not. All right.
I respectfully disagree, but I suppose.
And okay, so I respect your opinion. However, consider the following, right? Any number under 50 doesn't sound like big news. All right, big news loves to get your attention. They love to talk about it. They really like to inflate stories. All right, so even if it wasn't 50, right, you would still see 50 snails on a plane, probably.
I feel like it would be 3 snails. I feel like if there was like an occurrence of like people.
Who cares about 3 snails on a plane?
What are you just saying?
This guy is actually taking the
Why does
fucking
everyone
piss?
keep getting sucked into the snail conversation?
Big deal, bro. 3 snails on the plane.
I think that would make sense. It's like, even if it's such a small thing, they would blow it out of proportions. 3 snails, like
maybe 3 snails on the plane if you're like allergic to snails.
I feel like once we get to 51, then maybe we can round it up to 100 snails, and that's bigger.
It's like I pull down my meal tray. There's 3 snails. Oh wow, big fucking look. What is it? Slow news day? No one cares.
Erm gets it.
Like at worst, it's just something you have to deal with for the rest of the flight. It's not making a fucking news.
I manufactured a conspiracy theory that got so big it got into the news that way.
Like Reddit would eat that up.
Like what is this snail related?
Twitter would eat
You
that
manufactured a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, on why there's
Of
so
the
many
number of snails?
Yeah, if there was 30 snails on my plane, and I started posting on TikTok about a snail conspiracy theory, it blows up, it gets big, boom, it's on the news because it's the newest conspiracy theory.
Okay, Tuggy, you've got a point. Hypothetically, hear me out.
Narrowly think about tabloids. We gotta consider like YouTube. Would someone record the snails and post it?
I put 50 snails on this plane to reenact this.
I put 50 snails on this plane and fucking the stewardess kicked me off.
See, Erm gets it. I think Erm gets it.
Listen. Okay, before I even brought up the topic, I was thinking like the upper limit that we could all agree on is 30. I don't know where like 50 comes. I think you're underestimating how big of a fucking nuisance like 30 snails in one place is going to be.
Like they just sit there. What are you talking about?
Like one person doing. You pull down your meal tray, and there's like 30 fucking snails there.
That's true. Are we talking like
that's fucking horrible?
Because if we're talking Boeing 737, then that's not as big of a deal if it's on a Cessna. All right. If it's like a Cessna, dude, who cares? It's a private plane, right? Like
yeah. Like when you're on a plane, it's not like you can get up and move to a new seat. That's what
okay,
makes.
What size of the plane? What size of the plane? This is important to the conversation. What size of the plane?
So for this situation, I was thinking more like, I don't know, just a normal passenger plane in like coach. Like nothing fancy, no legroom. Just if you're going to Disney World with your family, like that kind of plane.
Like a Boeing 737?
Sure, yeah. Like wherever you sit, you're stuck there and you have no legroom, and now you have to deal with snails.
Well, No, it's gonna be a larger number. Also, where are the snails? Are they throughout the thing, like evenly spread throughout the plane? Are they like in the cargo area, or are they in the passenger area?
Well,
Do you think that they're all
in the cargo
congregating
area,
in
You're
class?
only gonna find like 10 of those.
If they're in the cargo area.
snails, because they're just all
Okay,
around the
okay, so imagine this. Imagine you're like a dad with a family of 2. Like you're going to Disney World with your wife and 2 kids. And of course the rows on the plane, they only sit 3 people, so the family is gonna split up. Dad pulls down his tray, there's a snail. Kids pull down their trays, there's a snail. They're like, oh, that's weird. And then they talk to the wife who's sitting by themselves. Also pulls down a tray, there's a snail. And then, like, Dad gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, the wife is like, oh, you know what's weird? I found a snail in my fucking meal tray. And wife is like, oh my god, I did too. And then the neighbors over here, and they're like, yo, there were snails in our meal tray too. And then it spreads.
So it's
Like, I feel like no matter whether or not they're spread out or in one place, they're gonna find the snails.
I feel like that's cheating because that's like unusual behavior for a snail. Like that would make it onto the news if they're suddenly
Snails
like
usually just kind of hang out. Snails
What do you
if they
mean?
were all doing
Like,
the
if they're
same
all
thing at
split
the
up?
same time, that would be
I have a
strange.
better way to snails.
Well, if they're all split up, then I don't think many people would go, oh my gosh, have you seen this snail? Because if they're all split up, then everyone's seen the snail before. I mean, it's not that crazy of a thing.
I would absolutely kill someone if I
They're
got a
all
snail.
organized, and like synchronized swimmers, and they're making like a shape, or like spelling something out.
Yeah, okay, so if we're talking ominous snails,
one person.
Yeah, ominous snails now.
then I feel like that's a little bit different, because, you know, if a snail is like enacting, I don't know, some kind of strange will of God or whatever,
Like
you know, I feel like that's way more newsworthy than just snails being on a plane. Snails don't really, like I said, snails don't really do anything.
Imagine like all the snails spawn at like all the outer side of the plane, and they slowly congregate toward one guy. They're just all after one guy, and they just start surrounding him. I feel like that would.
I think that would make the news.
Besides, like everyone has a phone. Someone will record the snails, even if it's like 2 snails. They record the snails.
That wouldn't make it on the news though. That wouldn't be national news. That's like a fucking TikTok video that gets 3,000 likes. No one cares.
I feel like they would. Under potential roadkills, hypothetical. I feel like that would garner way more attention in the news, because like, yeah, that's weird. Like, snails don't do that.
Yeah,
and trust me, I know snails.
That's the point of the question. It's like it's weird, but at some point,
watch the name every snail.
With like a small enough number of snails, no one cares.
In the U.S. right now, it's plane crashes.
What's a small enough? I feel like 50 is the lower limit.
I still feel like that's too high. Like, I mean, like 50 all in one spot, or 50 spread throughout the plane.
I'm not gonna disrespect that. I respect it.
Yeah, I get it.
But
do you mean 50 snails all in one spot, or 50 throughout the plane?
50 throughout the plane.
Sorry, come again?
It's 50 snails throughout the plane, or 50 in one spot?
I think 50 in one spot is way more newsworthy than this cargo plane just had, or sorry, this passenger plane just had like a bunch of snails. I feel like that's way more noticeable.
You would still notice that because
you would still notice it, but it wouldn't be as noticeable or as newsworthy as.
I think there's something more newsworthy. Okay. You know, like the one time there was that like rumor about like the spiders and the bananas that one time. What if the snails were in people's food, the airline food? You look in the food and there's snails. That would make news. That would make headlines.
Now
like,
that is.
Wait, what are you talking about? Do we actually have like a real life example of spiders and bananas? How many spiders and bananas?
No, it was fake, but people got scared.
Oh, that's funny actually.
I'd get scared too if there was a slug in my food. Sorry, snail. They're technically sorry. They're technically different. I forgot.
Does this plane have salt as a defense for the snails?
Okay, that's true. I mean, do you think
you're
that planes would instate salt?
You're gonna kill a bunch of snails and then have them on the plane?
if there's a war between
you think this would become such a big
possible
issue
too.
if
Salt is like acid to them.
It's like Train to
we
Busan,
need-
but with
It's
snails.
like acid. It's fucking acid to them. You're melting their face off when you put salt on them.
Do you think if it was such a big deal in the news, then airplanes would have to start instating salt dispensaries?
I think they need
I
to do
feel
a
like-
salt checking for every flight where they just coat everything
Like, even
in
if it
salt.
was just that
Yeah.
one case, do you think that they would do it just to be sure?
I feel like if it
Maybe.
did make the news, everyone would like the plane companies. They'd understand it's like such a non-issue. It's kind of one-time thing that they'd make an announcement like, "Oh, we're taking preparations to, you know, help with the snail problem," but they wouldn't do shit because like it's not gonna happen again. It's fucking
then
snails
by
on a plane.
proxy, that strange anomaly would get more news, and I feel like if it was just in one area, I don't know, might be more noticeable.
Yeah,
GG's
sure.
gamers.
Anyways, vote for Odyssey.
I still think 30 is the upper limit. I see where you come from
It was good having this
but like,
conversation. I appreciate the kind of
it's a lot of snails.
intellectual honesty.
Like 30 is a lot. 30 is
I
a
also
lot
like
of snails.
snails.
Yeah.